Okay, in this video we're just going to go over an app that we will be duplicating. This is called the Heyday app, and you will be using this as the main template to have other apps on. So again, in the other video we went over the duplication method, and then now I'm on that duplicate version. That's why it's called Test 2 November 26th, okay? So in this app, if we take a look here, I'm just going to go back to the beginning here, and this is what we see first. If you click, this is the layout of tab 1, okay? If you click here, you will see that this is an HTML page, right? The copy and paste kind of page. This one is going to a link, so you're linking this page directly to another URL. This page is a menu, so this whole thing is a menu, but when you click here, there's another menu, and when you click here, these are HTML pages. Okay, so that's the whole layout of how things go, one within the other. Video guide, for example, would be another link, and we are on tab 1 still. Top hints, they would go to a submenu, and you click those, and again another submenu, and then two links. Now, this one is a bit more complex than you would need it to be. For the most part, having a menu within a menu should be enough. So this is already a menu, right? And this is another menu, so you would just have an HTML page for most cases right away. You wouldn't have necessarily the third section of a menu. If necessary, you will need to do that, but for the most part, you will not. Hope that makes sense. Okay, and guide, if we go here, that's another menu on tab 2. This one is a direct link, hence nothing shows up. And this one as well is a direct link. So if you go to edit pages, you can see how each one is set up. So again, everything is contained on the edit pages. So the submenus are also there. Alright, so let's take a look and dive into one of them. Let's dive into tab 1. Okay, again, everything is listed here. README is linked to the About page. It's linked to a page that's called About. Sponsored app, it's linked to an external URL. So when you duplicate it, you would keep this consistent, and what you would do is remove World Cup Special because World Cup has finished. So that would be needed to be removed. So you can have Christmas Special or Holiday Special, so that it's a year-round kind of thing. Why are we writing that? It's because it's more clickable if you write something like that. Guide, you would see, would link to a page, which is tab 2, and tab 2, remember, was a menu. So this is how you do the interlinking. First you would create the pages, and then you would do the interlinking. Video guide is going to be to an external URL because we want them to get out and watch that video, and if they put it on full screen, they won't be able to do it if they're inside the app. So this is when you send them outside. So again, when you're duplicating, it's going to be there by default, but just make sure that you know that and that you look out for it. Top tips and hints is again linked to a page, and that page is a menu page. And diamonds is linked to an external URL again because it's a YouTube link. Okay. Download Heyday, external URL. So for download Heyday, this would obviously need to change according to the app. If it's another app like Subway Surfers or Sonic Dash, you would rename this and say download the name of the app, and then just copy this link out and put it on the Play Store. And you would just search the name of the app. So if we're doing Subway Surfers, you would open this, copy the URL of the main app, right? And then just paste it in there. And then save. So that's going to be a changing for every game, as with every other tab, but this should be specifically, the names would change as well for all of these, but this just make sure it goes to the right URL. Popular games, this, again, when you duplicate the app, you would just leave this as it is. Popular games will always be going to the same link. Okay, save and done. So you'd have to have a bit of a layout in your mind of how you want things to go, and I will show you research on the next video. And that's why I said you will be making these pages first. But when you duplicate this app, the about page, for example, all we said was you need to change this Heyday part, right, to the actual game name. So you would go click content, and then you would just make the change here in the design part. Just go, click, and then type whatever you need to type. Subway Surfer players and fans group access to the guide and video walkthroughs of the game. Save and done. The name of the other pages would need to change. You would rename them according to the research that you do, again, which we will show you in the next video. But do not duplicate, or if you decide to because we don't want to have too many links on here, you want to just have it contained to the game. So for example, if you want an HTML page, you would just rename the page of whatever it is and then delete the content and then put the new content on, and then whatever pages are unnecessary you would delete them. So for example, if we had to make a URL page, an HTML page for a link, for some content, you would just go and rename this here, rename according to whatever you need to rename it to for your new app. Buildings, if it's like, let's say it's Subway Surfers and you have to have some content on hoverboards. Rename, go find hoverboards, go to content, design, and delete the content and write whatever you have to write, or paste, okay? And then when you're done with the app, with all these pages, whatever is unnecessary, let's say this one, these few get left over, that you don't need these many pages in the new app, then you would delete them, because this takes up space and it takes up downloading time for the user. So the bigger the app is, the harder the less likely they would be to install it. So we need to keep the file small and delete what is unnecessary. Hope that made sense. Let's go to tab 4 and tab 3 actually, and here we go to content. Now this just links directly to a URL for YouTube, which will show you how to find what kind of content you need for YouTube. So that's why this would be a mobile page, right? Because from this tab, we're linking directly to a URL. And again, when we're inside here in the content part, if we're linking to an external URL or to the same kind of YouTube page, then we would have it going to the external part. So popular games would go to external. So that's the difference. Okay, hope that made sense. And we'll move on to the next video about how to search for content on the web.